Good day, everyone, and welcome to our live webinar, Empower Your Team to Discover Insights Hidden in Your Data with Microsoft Power BI. This webinar is brought to you by TechOne Global and Microsoft. Analyzing data often increases efficiency, but also helps identify new business opportunities that may have been otherwise overlooked. In doing so, the potential for growth and profitability becomes endless and more intelligence based. In today's business environment, every organization is looking for a way to make their decision making clear and more efficient. Now, before we officially start, we also love to hear from you. If you have questions to our speakers, we encourage you to place it in our chat room and we will address that during the Q&A. So without further ado, let us welcome our speakers. We have Mr. Indica Dalugama, Data Platform Solutions Architect of Microsoft. And we also have Mr. Lars Jepsen, CEO and co-founder of TechOne Global. And as our first speaker, he is a dynamic and results driven leader with 16 plus years of experience in technology transformation. He is passionate and an advocate of digital transformation to empower local businesses to the next level of growth. Here is Mr. Yusuf Farouk, Country Managing Director of Microsoft Bangladesh.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I know it's really a critical time and it's difficult time to join any webinar. We are going through a very critical time over the last few years, 1.5 years. So again, I really appreciate and thank you for taking your time to join us. Maybe we'll start with saying a few words on how Microsoft is transforming over the last few years on the cloud, and then maybe Indika will continue to share more into and Microsoft Power BI, how it's really going to help you to transform and how it's really going to help you to make meaningful of your data. So let me start with what we are doing as Microsoft and how we have been helping our customer over the last many years. Now, if you let me start with the modern work. If you look at like last 1.5 years, I think that our work is like we are working from home, from office, from anywhere. Like it's like whatever the device you have, you need to continue your work. So now essentially what Microsoft helping is with the technology and tools which essentially allow you to continue your work from any device. And that's the first piece. So what we have done is the modern workplace is essentially giving you this Microsoft Teams, this Office applications and the tools to manage and secure your endpoint and any device. So this first tools is the modern workplace, which help you to continue work from any device from anywhere. Now the second piece of it, if you look at from Microsoft Cloud, is the business application. If you are ever thinking about ERP for any CRM or any business critical applications that you want to build, I think that's the second piece of it. Like that's we are helping you as a customer to consume and transform yourself. The third piece of it is the infrastructure. So if you look at whatever the number of applications you want to build today, it needs essentially that all the infrastructure component is starting from server to storage to network to security services. And I'm sure Microsoft Azure is comprising all the infrastructure component in a single go. So you have the single platform to build any number of applications you want to build. So which is essentially is the Microsoft Azure. Next, if you move to the app innovation, I think that's again an area I'm sure you're gonna hear more today. If whatever the number of applications you are building today, we are seeing number of fintechs, you as the customer, either it's on the bank, or if you're in the fintech, or if you're in the government, you are building number of applications today. So when you build this application, how can we really help simplify your job of developer to build those applications? I think that's the fourth piece, which we are helping our customer to build their application and transform them. The fifth, the data. I think if you look at maybe there are a lot of information, I think even the next speaker will be sharing. The amount of data we generate every day, it's amazing. I'm sure there are some statistics also like IDC and Gartner's they shared. Like it's a huge amount of data, but the question is how we make meaningful of those data. I think that is critical. That is really an important. So I think that's where we do have a tools like SQL Server, and there are many other analytical tools which help you to analyze those data and make those data meaningful for your organization. And the final phase is security. I think it is critical. The every application, everything, whatever we build today, we need to make sure it is secured. Now, starting from endpoint to your applications to cloud, we need to make sure the security is associated with every single delivery of the applications. Now, if you look at the Microsoft Cloud, what we built today, it's for any industry you are, whether it's from BFSI, which is the banking industry, or the insurance, or if it is for healthcare, it can be for manufacturing, for non-profit, to retail, to even government. So essentially, the platform, the Microsoft Cloud, what we built today, it's for any customer, any industry. Let's move to the study specifically on the Power BI, how it's really going to help. So if you look at the amount of data will be generated in next 3 years, which is from 21 to 2024, and this will be equivalent to amount of data for in the first 30 years. So imagine the next 3 years, the amount of data which we will be generating will be more than the data which we generated in last 30 years. Now look at how can we really make utilize of those data, how can we really make meaningful of those data for our business. I think that is a critical aspect, and that's where I think we'll have a more conversation around how can we make those data more relevant for our business. And I just wanted to share you a few more why we are leading and how we're leading in the industry when it comes to BI and the analytics platform. If we look at the Gartner last year, the Magic Quadrant report, we have been the leader, and I think we have been the leader for many years now. If we look at the Microsoft is in the leader in the Gartners, and even if in the Foresters, helping our customer to make use of this data and make it meaningful there for their organization. So with that, I stop here. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Yusuf, for your insights. Now, let us move to the next speaker. He is a solutions architect for data and artificial intelligence. He supports customers in various industries to be a data driven organization by advancing data strategy and technology adoption. He worked with key strategic clients, being a trusted advisor by incorporating his technical architecture skill and business knowledge perspective to realize value of data within the organization. So here is Mr. Indika Dalugama, Data Platform Solutions Architect of Microsoft for Southeast Asia New Markets. Hi, Indika.
Hi, Minnie. Thank you very much. Thank you for the introduction. Yes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I am Indika Dalugama. So I'm the data platform solution architect for Microsoft for Southeast Asia new market. So today I am going to discuss about the importance of the data for the data driven organization. When you are starting your conversation to become a data driven organization, what are the important aspects you want to think about, and also how you want to leverage technology plus the cultural change within the organizations to drive the data driven organization. So you should first look at the data as a strategic asset. So it will give you the new way of running your business, right? So that's where you want to think about this. The data is not as a kind of the stored cost center. So you should think about the data as a strategic asset for your organization. So that's where you can reimagine. So the way of your business is going to run. So especially the pandemic situation, you will realize and you will experience that how you engage with your customer. So that completely has changed the way that you engage with the customer, right? So then how you operate within that situation. So that's where you want to think about that. So how do you better serve to the customer with that challenge? So if you have data, if you have proper data strategy is in built within your organization, so then that is pretty much easy for you to deal with these customers or your internal stakeholders with this data to drive the business. So that is the most important thing, how you can take the decision based on your data, right? So then like Faro explained, So these days the data reality is that is changing rapidly. So the volume, the veracity, and the velocity of this data is really changing. If you have a data platform within your organization, data analytic platform, so then you can answer this question, right? Without having that kind of a platform, so how do you answer this question? So what data you have, whether this data is reliable or trustworthy, right? And also how we can take the decisions based out of this data, right? So those are the things you are in mind. So with this context of the today's the reality of the data, all right? So then we need to critically think about that, since the audience is you are the driving factor of that, you are the C level people, you are going to drive this the outcome within the organization. You want to think about that really, where you are in this particular curve, right? So probably most of the you are in descriptive space, like I said. So you are in a BI space where you analyze your data in a descriptive manner. That means you already have the data sources, so data is stored within the organizational data sources. You generate kind of a report to see what happened the your past, but you want to really think about that. Okay, now I know what happened, so how I go beyond that, so how I go beyond descriptive analytic to predictive to prescriptive. So that's where this journey you are is going to start. It is not only the technology change, it involves the cultural change as well. So where you want to move into the ladder of this path, so where how you can analyze your data and generate predictive analytics, so then prescriptive analytics, what will going to happen, and also how we are going to make it happen. So that's where these modern technologies come into the play, not only the traditional BI side of that. That's where you need to have a strong platform to deliver this machine learning and AI and real-time data analytics capabilities within the organization. You want to really think about that, where you are on right now and also where you want to go. So this is pretty much interesting concept where I want to give a little bit of attention you all to think about that. So if you have a data platform in build, so this is the way, this we call digital loop, feedback loop, right? So this is the way you can transform your organization with the data and AI, right? So first thing is that you want to think about this, engage with the customer. So these are the way, various way how you can engage with your customer in a new meaningful way, right? So then how you transform your internal product. So that is most important thing, because you are serving this your product to your end customers. So if you have that product transformation journey, how you transform your journey with your end users the feedback. So how you get that feedback, and based on that how you transform your product. So then how you empower your internal employees, stakeholders, because end customer is giving the feedback, you transform the product, and your internal employees need that visibility. They need kind of a real time insight or the right data to take the decision how they want to convert this product to meaningful way. So then how you optimize your the operations, that is also very critical things. So optimizing your the operation will give the benefit to your organization and also your customer as well as your internal stakeholder. So that's where we call this as a digital feedback loop. It will, it is a kind of a circle. You will see it in the middle of that, you will see the data and AI, the data and artificial intelligence is behind the scenes, because while doing this collecting data, analyzing, and also giving the right insight to your stakeholder will completely change the way that you are going to interact with your people. So this is what we are called the digital feedback loop, right? So then when we are talking about this digital transformation journey within the organization, main two key accept you want to consider. One is that data capability. One is that the data culture. Data capability in the sense, So if you look at here, so how as a CEO, as a CDO, how you look at your entire organizational the journey. So how you modernize your data, and also how you create your new innovative applications to cater your bigger scale of your the customers, and also how do you leverage the data to generate insight and give the right insight right time to your customer as well as your internal stakeholders. And also the another important aspect is that building the data science capabilities. So you have traditional BI team or the team, they are generating the report, but data science team is the new way of engaging the data, because it's a kind of art where data science people can look at the data and they can generate or they can come up with the meaningful insight where you haven't seen the trends pattern, what will going to happen, something like that. So that is very important. And final piece is that the data governance side, that's also very important within your journey, because data, when you are enabling data to your internal stakeholders as well as the end customers, so you need to think about that data classification, and also what data I am going to share with them, what are the security I am going to apply for this data. That the data governance piece of is also the kind of a part of with this journey. When it comes to the data culture side, yes, that building the culture, even though you build a kind of a very sophisticated the infrastructure or the data platform, but if your internal stakeholders, your internal employees are not ready to consume that, or are they are not in a position to understand this the data inside, so that's where the problem comes. So that's where you need to rethink about that, how you can reshape, how you can build the culture, data culture within the organization. You can democratize your data, so you can give the data with this data platform, or you can share the right set of data with your employees, so where they are the subject matter experts within the BUs. So where if you enable the data rather than keeping a central IT team, if you diversify or if you democratize your data within the business unit, so they can take the decision, they can do the product transformation with them. Right? And also another important aspect is that building the internal capabilities, how you can skill the internal people, so that's also more important. And also the my biggest learning within the my career, and also my when I am dealing with my customers, so building the internal capability is most important. And also as a CDO, as a CEO, as a CIO, how you can set kind of a passion or kind of a goal for each and every SBUs to run. So if you can make that passion within the organization, so that's where the biggest transformation, then they will love the data. So then they will ask the data from you, and they will decide how they are going to transform their product, and also how they can cater this to the business. So then just to give a little bit further, so how it technology comes to the play, so that's where the Microsoft, if I talk about, I'm not going to talk about the more technical things about the data platform, so it's high levelly like Farwood explained. So the platform the Microsoft is offering is end to end, so that is the biggest thing. So how we kind of how we leverage, how we relevant to your businesses. Microsoft has come up with this cloud strategy where industry specific cloud platform we have. So if you are in the manufacturing, we have manufacturing. If you are in the finance sector, we have finance sector related the cloud offering. And also it's end to end like explained earlier. So it start from your organization, modern workplace people, office site, and also business applications, data, security. Likewise, every stakeholders within the organization, it cover with this Microsoft platform, right? So that is the biggest advantage, and also the biggest collaboration with this the platform. And also the Microsoft has a very strong point of hybrid operation model. So where when you are starting a journey from your on-prem to the cloud, it's a journey. So where you need a seamless transformation from your on-premise to the cloud. So that's where the Microsoft we have very strong footprint, because Microsoft is earlier it was a kind of a the on-prem born kind of a on-prem the organization. How we transform ourselves to become a cloud company. Likewise, we have given the set of tools, technologies, and methodologies how you can transform your the on-prem to cloud and how that journey look like. So that's where this whole spectrum we are covering that. So then, so this is your very simplified version of your end goal. So you have, even though you're on-prem or the cloud environment, so predominantly this slide is applicable for your cloud on-prem environment. So data silos, like you, if you rethink about your organization, you may have experience with this one. You have many BI tools, many IT tools, or many IT frameworks, data science framework to deal with the data. And also you have silos data. It come from the marketing department, sales department, product or something, finance likewise. You have this siloed approach already. So that's where you need to build that strategy, become organization to data driven. How you build that journey, how you unified your organization. That's the approach we want to give you. So this is where you will see very clearly how you collaborate this data to central platform, like how you do this common data model, common data lake, how you put the data into the common data lake. And also you can utilize Microsoft Azure Data Services plus Power BI to interact with this data within your central repository, right? So then it will give the business benefit regardless of their job role. So you can interact with this data like simplified tool like very powerful Power BI for the analytic purpose. The business analytics can engage with this one, and also IT professional and also the data science people. Everybody can play their role within this end-to-end platform. So then the ultimate goal is that how you deliver the business value to the business. So where the business can run on top of the data insight you generate, and how you treat data as a new stream of revenue generation, right? So finally, so a little bit of the Power BI side. So the Power BI is our end-to-end the visualization and analytic tool, where it enable most of the capabilities. What we thought of that as a Microsoft, we thought this Power BI is an end user tool. So that's the beauty of that. It does not need a kind of a vast variety of knowledge to deal with this tool. So where people can connect any kind of a data. Why I'm saying any kind of a data, you can connect Excel sheet, you can connect any of the other databases, SQL servers, other cloud data sources very simply, because it comes with the many connectors and you can connect the data. And once you connect the data, it you can simply drag and drop the fields and you can do the self-service BI. That's why we call this an end user tool. The business users or the C-level people can interact with this data themselves. No need to go for central IT to ask the report. And also with this Power BI, it comes with the many handy the features, like you can connect this report to your internal application, right? And also you can call this through the REST API, and also you can directly integrate Azure AI capabilities within the Power BI. So those kind of things are inbuilt with the Power BI. That's why we are calling that Power BI is a kind of visualization end user perspective tool. And also many organizations are used for drive the business and also get the new insight within the data. So that's the basic idea I want to give about that, the how you are going with this journey. When you are building this data driven organization, what are the important aspects you want to think about, and especially the data capability plus the culture. So then the tooling and technology angles I explain how you can bring the data to the one central common data lake, and then use Power BI and Azure data services for the insight generation and share within the business users. So finally, you will see the data capability plus data cluster, you build the unique potential within the organization. And for my next speaker will explain about it, how practically they use Power BI or the data analytic tool to run their business, or how they can utilize these tools to generate more insights. So that's it from my side. Yeah, I will be stay with this call to answer any questions if you have. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Indica. So now we know the Microsoft Analytics platform, but let us quickly show you how we use it to discover insights hidden in the data from our next speaker. He's an IT entrepreneur, a business adventurer, and a guerrilla marketing with a wealth of experience in enterprise content management, content services platform, digital transformation, social media marketing, entrepreneurship, RPA, and workflow automation. Here is Mr. Lars Jepson, CEO and co-founder of TechOne Global.
Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. I'm getting my things ready here, so I hope you can see my slide in a few seconds. I think it's updating a little bit slow. Can you see it there, Simon?
Yeah, we can see it, boss.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm going to talk a bit about how we do our operation in TechOne Global. Basically, there's a couple of points that Indica mentioned that I would like to build on. First of all, so I'm going to talk about our experience with using Power BI as an organization. I'm not going to try to convince you to buy. I'm more talking as a C-level to another C-level to tell you about our learnings from using a visualization tool such as Power BI. So the first learning that we have had is really about the data culture. I think many organizations have data. You have a lot of data, and the question that will start to surface once you get into visualization is that, do you have the right data? Do you have enough data? Is the data granular or deep enough? You can imagine if you look at from for example, from an ERP solution, from an accounting standpoint, from the most basic, using a simple drawer to transact, to put your money in and take your money out, and have no idea who bought and who sold and what money happened, to a very complex ERP solution where you have even the finest detail about the color of the specific product you sold, the information about what was the tools being used to make that product, what was the material being used, how much time it took. So you have a very, very big scope in between having very little data and having a lot of data. And you might find across your organization that in some parts of the organization, there is a data culture because for operational manufacturing purposes, you have kept data there. In other parts of the organization, you might not have had that. So the first point that I have learned is to start to build a culture of data around the organization, not only in specific pockets, but across the organization. The other point that Indica made, so I'm going to just talk about this before I show my next slides, was the idea about democratizing data. So very often data has been kept in silos. In my department, we know what's happening. In your department, you know what's happening. And at the C level, we get certain reports. But across the organization, it's been very difficult to share data without getting access, maybe sometimes to too much data, where privacy and confidentiality is compromised. So this is where a tool like Power BI really can come in. So I have a couple of slides, and sorry, those are real life slides. Those are not demo slides. So I had to kind of blur a little bit. Don't worry. I know that we're all senior people and we might be using glasses. The reason you cannot see all the data is not because you need new glasses, but because I blurred the data. So this is an example of a Power BI dashboard we use in our company. And this is a data that is coming from our CRM system. So we use Navision CRM, and all the salespeople and marketing people in our company in 6 different countries are entering every single opportunity that they have, every project they have, with a great amount of detail. And on a weekly basis, when we do our business review, we use this dashboard to review what the pipeline looks like, the individual salesperson, how their data, how their sales funnel is looking like, the individual countries, market share in different markets. You can see in this one, for example, it has gross profits by market segments, and different product categories which are important to us are highlighted. So really we are bringing in here data it's a very comprehensive set of data in our CRM solution, and we're also drawing information from our ERP solution, like billing data. Like we are moving from just a single view in one system to a view of 2 systems. As a management team on a business review, we have the data in front of us to see, what is our cash flow going to look like in the next couple of months based on this billing data. So we have billing data when the deal is being closed, when it's going to be collected, and those kind of things. So all that intelligence we can build into Power BI for visualization. So this can empower our employees, because we can then give line item access to data, or row access it's called. That means we can said to a salesperson, you can see the same dashboard, but you can just see your own project. Or we can say to a division manager or sales manager or a head of manufacturing, you can see the dashboard, but you can just see your data. So based on your role in the company, we can then allow different level of access. And this works in Power BI. Power BI then access the CRM and the ERP solution and collect the data. So the users do not have to have access themselves to those solutions to be able to view the data. So it's a way of democratizing the data and empowering the employees to do a better job, because they have better access to more information. Another slide is our industry report. This is a very interesting report, because it gives us many different views at the same time. Here we can see in our business where the current pipeline is sitting. That means our opportunities across different markets. Is it in government, in BFSI? So this is across our company. This is a specific brand, so don't mind so much the data. It's a specific branch of our company this data is from, and that specific brands, this is how they look like. So they are heavy in the government industry. That's where the most of the revenue is coming from. If I would click on the GP tab, I could see where our GP is coming from. And in the bubble chart, I can see how many projects we have in which industry and how close they are to closing. And then if I click on anything in the dashboard, I get a listing below on that specific opportunity which is in that area. So very useful for our business reviews. In our Enadoc document management system is a repository for any part of the organization to store documents. And most of the time you store documents in a document management system because you have a compliance and audit requirement. And what we have done here is we have built a Power BI dashboard for an HR department, so they can see for an HR user which documents are stored in the document management system and how many documents are stored of the compliant documents. For example, if a file needs to have a COVID vaccination card, for example, or a certain license or a certain document, we can set those as mandatory, and the HR department can actually then see if they have complied with that. If it's let's say a bank could say, okay, I want to make sure that all of the loan documents have KYC information. So I need to have a proof of address. I need to have a KYC document, and maybe I need to have a 2 or 3 ID documents. And you can actually see that clients are complying with that, and you could put expiry date. So that means within Power BI, I can say, okay, those are customers which have a passport, for example, that are expiring, that they have used as a evidence to fulfill their KYC, and I can go back with an action to complete the documents. So that's about engaging customers, empowering employees, and optimizing operations. And the last slide I want to show is how we use the data in our solution itself to optimize or to transform our product. So this is a consumption dashboard that shows how a specific client is using our solution, how many documents they are uploading, how many documents they are uploading in different departments, how many scanned documents per day they're uploading. So we can help them if they are having any issues on the way, and we can see how different parts of our product is being consumed, so we can invest in those areas where we feel that it's more valuable for the clients to have a better return on their investment. So these are the areas that I reflect on when I hear Indica earlier talking about transforming product, empowering employees, optimizing operation, and engaging customers. Very important part of the aspects of our day-to-day life as a commercial organization. And the last 2 points, which was the starting point, is you have to create a data culture, and that might be more challenging that you that you would think. Remember the good old garbage in, garbage out. You cannot create a useful, meaningful Power BI report if you don't have data in the background. So we have to start with data, and we have to have quality data. There has to be found in different silos, that's fine, but it has to be structured. We use the term of data lake. Sometimes we bring the data from different areas into a specific location called the data lake, or other terms for the same thing. Basically, we merge the data in a specific formatted way, and then we can report based on that. So those are the technologies we use in our company. I hope that was useful for you, at the tail end of our program, to have a little bit of insight to how we use it ourselves. I'll be happy to answer any questions afterwards, and any day-to-day issues you have, please let me know. I'm a part of the team to support you as well. So thank you very much for that. Back to you, Mimi and Saima.
Thank you so much, boss. And now let's also call back Indica so we can officially start the Q&A part. I'm not sure if Boss Yusuf is also here, but if in case he's not yet here, let's have the Q&A with the two speakers for now. So Boss Lars, Boss Indica, are you ready?
Always ready.
Okay. Good then. Okay. So I have this first question. So this is actually for Indica. So data analytics platform offers great benefits to any organizations. But when it comes to choosing which data analytics platform is right for their business, what should they always consider?
Thanks, Mimi. Yeah. So I think the answer is I can't say this is the right, because it depends on the customer's requirement. So that's where we need to really think about the organization vision and mission, where they want to go. So that is the right decision they want to take. That's likewise, like I explained earlier in the slide deck. So they need to really think about where they are in this particular journey. So based on that, they can decide so what to do. In terms of the taking that particular decision, yes, of course, they have to think about the company CEO vision with the organization, and also the organization maturities matter. So not only the technical side of that, also the cultural people side of that. So those are the two things they want to consider selecting kind of a platform for the data analytics, the data maturity within the organization, and also about the end to end the platform. So that is more key important thing when you are choosing kind of a platform or building kind of a data analytics platform. You want to think about broader picture of end to end. It's not only getting a silos tool or one data source ingestion. So not only like that. So you want to think about broader picture, how you can integrate the security, how we can integrate the other product and services, other data source generated from the other sources, how you can take all these to the one place, and also how you can govern the data as a one single service, and also how you share the data, and also how you manage the security, the data security, and also the compliance side of that with the end users. So that end-to-end picture they want to rethink about when they are selecting or taking a decision to build a kind of a data analytics platform. So those are the key things I would say when you are selecting when you are selecting or building a data platform, you want to think about many.
Okay. Thanks, Indika. So I think Boss Yusuf is also here right now. So if Boss Yusuf is okay, we can throw the question to him.
Sure, can.
Yep, yeah. Okay, boss. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, most businesses also realize the value of the customer's journey. How can such a platform like Power BI enhance a customer experience?
So I think Indika already answered that question if I largely understand. If we look at the amount of data we are generating today, it's really huge. But the important the question is how can we really make available those data for business so that business can create its own revenue stream. Now, if you look at this pandemic, I think it pushes us in many way, pushes behind in many way. We are not able to work from like a single place from office. We are not collaborating. We are not able to collaborating with each other. We are not able to share our journeys and many other stuffs. And even in many cases, in many organizations, we have seen it really impact heavily on the financial. So if you look at this data, it can eventually help organization to create a revenue stream, which will and that revenue stream kind of help an organization to get an much more money, get an much better in financial strength.
Okay. Thank you for that answer, Yusuf. Now, this next question is actually for Boss Lars. Boss, on your perspective as a CEO, how important is it to make informed decisions?
Well, I normally look at our dashboard as a Power BI dashboard to help to see what's going to happen next. We know where we have been. We know the data from the past, but we don't know what's going to happen in the next 10 minutes, in the next few days, in the next year. But if we have a proper tools to explain us about, in our case, where we are at the current point, it will help us to move forward with better decisions. You can imagine flying an airplane at night or in a heavy fog with no instruments. It's going to be a very risky affair. And as a business owner, I'm used to getting reports. You might get financial statements and reports, but drawing the connection between the different parts of the report to kind of see where we are going next is very difficult. So definitely, Power BI allows us to take a different view on our data, on our information, and because of that, we can take a better decision and more educated decision about where we want to go next. So I hope that answered the question.
Definitely, boss. Thank you, boss Lars. And there's also, I think we can still answer one more questions from the audience, and then there's a lot of questions coming in. It says here, what does make Power BI different from other BI tools? So I think it's Indica and Yusuf who can answer this question. What makes Power BI different from other BI tool?
Yeah, so it kind of a many features, not only the features like I explained. Yeah, Power BI we treat this as a enterprise level BI the tool where it can use for the code first approach or codeless approach. What I'm saying is that codeless approach in the sense the end users, even business decision makers themselves, they can do self-service BI and get the benefit of this the tool. And also if the developers or the some kind of a hardcore people they want to use that, so they also can use that. That is one thing. And also uh, it comes with the many features, not like other competitor product, because it's a SaaS product we are delivering. So which every month we have a release, and also the end users, they have flexibility to onboard many visualization. Even if they are not happy with the built-in things, they can build their own visualization. And also Power BI comes with the many integrated with the AI and machine learning in built to that. Even it's comes with the quick insight generation, which give look at the data set by customers, and also it suggests the kind of insight or the charts or the information for the customers. Likewise, it comes with the many features when it comes to the compare with the other tools.
Yeah. Okay. So there's one last question that I think is interesting to answer. It says, how can I connect another application in BI and link it up in Excel data?
Maybe I didn't get the question. What does that? Can you repeat it?
I think what the content of the question is, how can he connect his Excel data to a Power BI tool?
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Uh, the Power BI, like you earlier explained, it does come with the many built-in connectors, because Power BI can connected more than 90. Now it crossed the 100 plus connected built-in with the Power BI. So it can connect to SaaS services, other cloud vendors, other competitor database, and also especially for the Excel. Yes, we have a connector for Excel, so where you can get the data or get the Excel content to Power BI, and you can do the visualization.
Okay. Thank you,
And
Indica. Actually,
verse wise also you can do, because when you build the Power BI model with the Power BI, so then you can connect your Excel to Power BI, and you can get the benefit of Power BI model within the Excel as well.
okay, good, Indica. Actually, we're receiving. I'm reading the other questions that are being flashed right now. But due to our limited time, we just answered few questions, and we will respond to the remaining questions via email. Is that okay with you, speakers? Yeah, because we're still receiving. I think five more questions now, and
Yeah.
we're out of time already.
Yeah, I think just from my side, Mimi, I can see a lot of very technical questions. Or can I connect to this application? Can I connect to that application? How do I do this? How do I do that? So, as an organization, maybe I'm one of the users of Power BI, but as an organization, we have Power BI developers. We have a great team of data specialists and scientists who can help you to make the most out of your data. And whether you want to connect to Oracle or IFS or any other solution in the back end, our team can help you to achieve the kind of dashboards that you want to drive your business forward. So there's also a lot of connectors directly from Microsoft. But I think on the more technical things, it's better that we work with you directly so we can help you how we can solve your specific problem.
I
Correct.
think thank you, Lars. Just adding to Lars what Lars said. I think many if it is possible for us to collect all the questions and maybe we can revert to them later on with a specific answer. And even if it is required, I'm sure we can have a one-on-one call with those customers.
Definitely, and we will be glad to do that with them, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
please.
Okay. Okay. So once again, thank you so much to our speakers, Yusuf, Indica, and Boss Lars, and of course to our online audience. So find clarity in your data when you need it most. Schedule a free business consultation now by sending us an email at aliana@tech1global.com. So definitely the technical questions that you are asking earlier will definitely be addressed if we can do if we can do a session with your organization. So we look forward to seeing you again in our next Tech One Global and Microsoft events. So stay safe, stay healthy. This is again Mimi Navarro. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you so much, speakers.
Thanks
Thank
very
you,
much, everyone. Thank you
audience.
for joining. Take care. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
Thank
Bye.
you very
everyone.
you.
Thank
much.
you so much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.